love is calling. I'm coming running, to you.
Hello and happy Friday. Here we are again. I'm Pastor Chris Thompson, and this is our weekly devotional. When I say our weekly devotional, I'm coming to you from Christ Central. Christ Central is in the city of Spokane. We're at 19 West Shannon. If you don't have a church to worship at, we would invite you to come and worship with us. We meet at 11 a.m. on Sundays. If you have a local church, we ask that you pour into that church. Be a blessing to them. Each and every week, we take a piece of scripture that we're going to talk about on Sunday, and we do something called a primer, a little devotional. Today's passage comes out of Mark chapter 9. Now, on Sunday morning, we'll do verses 38 all the way down through 50. But today, we're just going to do, let's do 38 through 40. I'll put it on the screen right here. Now, 38 through 40 is interesting. You see, the disciples, they've been traveling with Christ. And they've had lots of interesting discussions on the road. And this is no exception. They're going to have a discussion here as well. This time, it's not a question. This time, the disciples have a statement. They say in verse 38, "Teacher, we saw someone driving out demons in your name, and so we told him to stop, because he wasn't one of us." I love that. Just a statement. Jesus, by the way, we're taking care of your business when you're not watching. We see things you don't. There was a guy, he was casting out demons like you do, and so we told him to quit. And so Christ's response is I don't know if it's surprising or not, but in verse 39, he says this. He says, "Don't stop him. No one who does a miracle by my name can in the next minute say something bad about me." He says, why would you stop someone who's doing exactly the work that we're sent out to do? He is using my name, casting out demons, doing my work. He's clearly not going behind our backs and talking bad about us. Let him do the thing he's going to do. And then the second thing he says in verse 41, "Truly I tell you, anyone who gives you a cup of water in my name, because you belong to the Messiah," because you're one of the disciples, "will certainly not lose their reward." I find two messages here that I'd like to leave you with. The first of which is there are people who are walking with God, people who are pursuing the same faith that you're pursuing, but they're doing it in a different manner or in a different location, or they have a different leader, a different fellowship, a different church. But that doesn't mean that their gift, the thing that they're doing for the Father, is any less valid than the thing that you're doing. Their journey may not look exactly like yours. It doesn't mean it's not a journey that's been given them by the Father. So I tend to lean towards giving someone the benefit of the doubt when they say they're pursuing holiness in the same way that I am pursuing holiness, even if we're not at the same spot or if it looks a little bit different. I think that's a lot of what Christ was saying here. You don't have to know that person for him to have a spiritual relationship with the Father and to be doing the things that God has called them to do. The second thing actually comes more out of verse 41 here, that anyone who does an act of kindness, and here it's specifically an act of kindness to the disciples, is going to receive a reward for that. And that extrapolates out even farther to us, of course. If you do an act of kindness to someone, not simply because you felt like it, but because you think God would like you to do that thing, the Father doesn't miss that. Your reward is set aside. It's in a ledger book somewhere that you've done this thing. And it's a very small thing that Christ picks up. He says, if someone were to just give you a glass of water when you need one, that small kindness won't go unnoticed by the Father. There's reward set aside for that. Each and every week at this point, I usually have a challenge for you. Today I have a challenge / encouragement. The first of which is there are believers in your life, people that are pursuing the same life and spiritual goals you are, that might get under your skin. I know that's hard to say, that maybe they don't see it exactly the same way you do, and that's frustrating. I encourage you to cut them a little bit of a break. If they're claiming the same God as you, following the same path as you, going the same way you're going, perhaps their specific journey isn't really the issue. Maybe you can learn to live together and respect and honor and even appreciate what they do. The second thing is maybe more on the encouragement side. I guarantee that at some point this week you did something small for someone else out of the goodness of your own heart, or because God asked you to do it. And it might have been as small as handing someone a glass of water. Christ says the Father has noticed. So I want to encourage you and say you are doing what God has called you to do. And if by some circumstance you went an entire week without having a small act of kindness, ask God to put a person in your life to let you serve them this week. Well, I hope something we've said today has been some encouragement to you. We were in Mark chapter 9. If you'd like to read the verses for yourself, we started at 37. And we'll, at least on Sunday, go all the way to 50. We only went to 40 today. Well, God bless you, and we will see you right here next week. If you have anything to say, or if you would like some prayers, put them in the comments below. I will respond. God bless.